Skyboxes. So like a million years ago, Any Austin uploaded a video talking about skyboxes in Banjo Kazooie. And I thought this was really interesting because I like Banjo Kazooie and I like skyboxes. And ever since he did that video and I watched it, I had the thought I should do that because I love copying other people. And that is exactly what I'm doing today, is just sharing my thoughts on the various skyboxes in Banjo Kazooie. In my head, this video is like fan art. I am doing my best to emulate Mr. Austin as well as I can, even though my green screen is going to be quite shitty because I have a free video editor. I will also say, even though I was inspired by Any Austin, I haven't watched that video for like 3 years or something, so I basically don't remember anything he had to say, which is great because this means I get to share just my thoughts without just echoing him. And this also means that after I do this video, I can go back and rewatch his video and see how much we agree or disagree on things. So yippee, wahoo, wahey. First up is Spiral Mountain, and it's a largely unassuming skybox. Pretty mundane, there are no clouds or sunlight. The most interesting thing about it is the spooky stink fog cloud around Grunty's mansion, which honestly, I was surprised to see. For some reason, if you had asked me, Twiins, what does the Spiral Mountain skybox look like? I would have told you it's just blue. It makes so much sense for there to be a stink cloud around Grunty's mansion. So that's great, and it dominates most of the sky as well. So much of the skybox is dedicated to Grunty's stink cloud. So it really makes her feel quite oppressive, which is hilarious because Banjo and friends actively opted to live here. Most of our adventure is inside, so I wanted to have a little bit of fun and also take a gander at some ceilings because that's like a skybox. And this was really cool because right off the bat I discovered something I feel like I've never seen before, and it's these stalactites. I've never seen these stalactites. I have never looked at these stalactites before in my life. So this is really fun, really great. They feel so out of the way. The camera is angled downward for most of your adventure. Even if you zoom out as much as you can, the camera focuses on Banjo and the floor so you can, you know, platform and stuff. So you're gonna be really interested, if you're like me. You're gonna be really interested by all the seemingly completely unnecessary hidden details that are just above us throughout our adventures across Banjo Kazooie. Around these stalactites is also this weird vine texture, and I feel like I had never seen it before. You have. If you've played Banjo, you have seen this vine texture before. And if you can guess where it is, leave a comment. Don't cheat, don't move forward in the video. Leave a comment, and if you get it right, then you get a cookie or a gold star, whichever emoji I choose to reply to you with. Yeah, I was fascinated that the roof near Mumbo's is not painted. The walls are painted in such a fascinating way, such an elaborate paint job, but then they didn't do the ceiling, and it's like, what are you doing? Mumbo's Mountain has another very unassuming skybox. Similar to Spiral Mountain, it's just blue. There are some crummy little clouds on the horizon line. That's one of their favorite things to do. They love having clouds on the horizon line. And on ground floor, it looks really excellent. It does everything it needs to. Not distracting, not weird, just a big blue sky. It becomes really interesting when you get up high. Now, the highest location you can get in Mumbo's Mountain is the top of Ticker's Tower. And if you get up there and take a gander at the skybox, you'll see how much of it is actually dedicated to being green. A lot of the skybox is dedicated to tricking you into thinking there are more hills beyond the horizon line. Oh my gosh, this next thing was so exciting. So you go up towards the puzzle for Treasure Trove Cove, and there's this Grunty space where you hit her eyes and everything. And if you look at the ceiling, you'll notice that Grunty's face here, this little raised platform, is illuminated. There's a skylight. Or at least a light. I've never noticed any kind of illumination before. The whole room is quite well lit, so nothing seemed special about Grunty. I was so interested in this. Great way to display your lovely artifacts like jiggies and cool stickers and posters. It is time for the sponsor of the video. The sponsor of the video is me. I'm the sponsor. I've got merch. I've got cool stickers and posters of all original art made by me. A lot of the art is also done over on Twitch, so you can go follow me on Twitch if you want to see me draw, and I also play video games and do other fun, cool stuff. I make sure all of my merch is as cheap as the site will let me. I am extra motivated to do this, not only because I want you to get a good sale, but because if I want any of it, I have to pay for it too, and so I want us all to have to get a good sale. Other cool places you can find me is if you like streams, but you like being able to pause in the middle of them, you can find me over on my VOD channel. I also have a second channel where I upload funny video game highlights. That one is basically just for fun, so come follow me over there if you want some fun stuff to happen. And also there's my music channel. I don't think I need to explain that one. So yeah, thanks a million to me for sponsoring me. You're welcome, me. Back to talking about Banjo. Okay, you remember how I mentioned the ceiling near Mumbo's mountain? How it wasn't painted? How it had this cool, like, paint job on the wall, but the ceiling was not painted? Here's what makes it really interesting. The ceiling at Treasure Trove Cove is painted. It's blue. So what the heck? Treasure Trove Cove may be my least favorite level, but the skybox is really interesting. And it's interesting almost by design because it's a very vertical level, because this is where we learn to fly. And it's an ocean, so it's kind of doing double duty. The first big thing is the clouds look much nicer. We also, for the first time in this game, get the sun. Wow. I've always really fancied trying to blind Banjo by looking directly at the sun and have all the hexagons line up. Really cute, really fun. Love that sun. It really adds to that hot feeling. That's the whole point of it being here. It makes it feel hot, the beach is warm, oh, the sun is beaming down upon me, and it's doing an excellent job of doing that. The other thing that's really interesting is, remember that horizon line that we talked about? So we're doing the same thing here with the ocean. Fly up to the tippy top, all the way up at the top of the lighthouse, and you'll see how much of the skybox is dedicated to trying to trick you into thinking the ocean goes way further than it does. You can see that it's got this goofy pattern all along it, which is emulating the look of the water. And it's really cool. Again, when you're on ground level, it's very convincing. It's really interesting. And it makes me wonder what is at the end. And obviously it's just like an invisible wall. But I want to be there. I wish I was over there, and that's probably why they introduced Snacker. Not only is Snacker a great way to add some interesting engagement with the platforming around water, but also he prevents you from just swimming to the edge of the world and running into an invisible wall. So, cool. I guess we gotta respect Snacker a little bit more. Clanker's Cavern's whole area is just black voids. It makes sense. It is implied to be in kind of a dank area. Swampy pipes, you know, it makes us feel like we're deep underground in a way. It really adds to Clanker's trapped feeling, even though he's already in like a bucket, you know, and it's just really, really big bucket. It's really interesting because you're almost enticed to look up in Clanker's Cavern to look at his blowhole and to keep track of his tail, and you just see nothing up there. And honestly, I think a black void does more than just like a crummy ceiling would have, because a ceiling would have made it a box, and that's too video gamey. But a black void implies there's more world up there, and we just can't get up there. It is a little bit boring to look at though, so we won't linger in Clanker's Cavern. I made myself a bet. I was like, I bet Bubble Gloop Swamp's puzzle, the whole room is just gonna be that swamp texture. You know that one where Banjo walks on it and it goes quick, 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 quick. And I was right, it's all that swamp texture. And it looks disgusting in mass like this. It looks gross. If you have tryptophobia, I'm sorry, it's probably activating that. Let's mosey on. So there's also this area near Treasure Trove Cove and Clanker's Cavern. It has even bigger stalactites. Look at those big, ugly stalactites. They're so gross. The stalactites definitely look better small. I was really hoping, I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, the puzzle for Click Clock Wood. What's its skybox gonna look like? What's gonna be that ceiling? And it was just another black void. And I was like, oh. The swamp is similar to Clanker, this black void, but it's fascinating because it's doing a completely different job. With Clanker, it implied kind of more up. Like the ceiling was just so high up that we couldn't see the top. But in Bubblegloop Swamp, first of all, the walls are really high. The swamp walls are so fucking high. But what it does is it creates the illusion of an overcast, like, shadow. Dense swamp foliage is just so thick that light cannot get through. It's a seamless, like, vision. If there had been actually, like, a skybox or, like, trees, I feel like it would have looked worse. This is really successful. Another thing that's really interesting, I've never seen these before either, these weird vines, these gigantic, thick fucking vines, are just everywhere. They're just sprinkled around the level. Never seen those before. They're so out of the way. Like, it feels like some employee wasted their time adding these vines, but they're fascinating. I love them. After Bubblegloop Swamp, we continue, and the Grunty statue becomes quite relevant in this situation because, look, it's that vine texture I mentioned. Every time you see that cutscene where you jump through the Gobi Valley pot, and you fall down, and you get that jiggy inside the Grunty statue, you see that ceiling for just a moment with this fascinating vine texture that just shows up earlier in her mansion at one point. Really smart way to reuse textures. So really fascinating that I just did not remember that. The interesting things around Gobi's Valley continues. We're not entering the level just yet. We're going in order, which means next is Freezeezy Peak. But first you have to walk past Gobi's Valley to get to this big wide area with the big grunty face with the hat. You know, you've played the game before. But in this Gobi area with this big pot that you would jump in next to the sarcophagus, look, a skylight. Like, that's the sky. That is outside the mansion. And it looks really nice for being in the depths of the stink cloud. So really fascinating. It also has me sit here and wonder, where are we? It feels like we've only moved up and up, but we're not at the top yet. Obviously, that's where you fight Grunty. So at some point in the, like, mountainous area, sort of behind Grunty's mansion, there is a hole that is a skylight to specifically Gobi's Valley. Freezeezy Peak might be one of my favorite skyboxes in this game. It is gorgeous. It's so stunning. You can even see how excited I was. I start up the area, I look up, and you could see me, like, reposition so I could really get a gander at this moon, this full, gigantic, beautiful moon, as it slowly wanders across the sky with this beautiful starscape. It looks great against the snowfall. It's so pretty. And what's fascinating is this situation right here where I look up at the sky. It looks awesome. It's as if the game wanted me to see this. In any other game, this would have been, like a modern game, this would have been a cutscene. It would have forced you to look at the moon, but I chose to, and it felt great. But what's really fascinating is, so this is another flying heavy level. You are flying all over the place to help the Twinklies, and to get places, and to avoid the fucking snowmen. Fuck those guys, I hate those guys. And you fly all the way to the top of the snowman, but a lot of the sky is actually not this pitch black. That is only the top. If you look straight up, you see that beautiful pitch black starscape, with the moon and the snow falling on you. Otherwise, if you look around the horizon, it's kind of this, like, foggy, kind of just cold night, which is still nice. It's still successful, I think, especially around the little, like, snowed-in village close to Mumbo. It's giving, like, a Thomas Kincaid painting. I highly recommend you boot up Banjo Kazooie so you can go look at the Freezeezy Peak skybox, because it's real fucking pretty. We're gonna now wander back towards Gobi's Valley, and Gobi's Valley is not as exciting as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was gonna be green, and it is a little greenish near the horizon, and that's because it's a desert. You'll see this pretty often. Yellowy, orangey deserts with green skies. It's got to do with, like, complementary colors. It looks good, and especially in a game like this, it would help it avoid from looking too much like the beach that we were just at. But it's really kind of just a lot of blue. Yeah, and similar to, like, Mumbo's Mountain and stuff, a lot of the sky is once again dedicated to implying more desert in the horizon. Though it is exciting because the sun is back, once again implying that hot weather. It's the same reason why it's here, same reason why I was at the beach. Before we mosey away from Gobi's Valley though, I didn't want to check every pyramid because I figured it was basically just gonna be the wall texture on the ceiling, because these are little boxes, so you can get away with doing that. But there's one I definitely wanted to double check. King Sandy Butt. You know him best as the pyramid with the maze. Then you have to get through, otherwise a spiky ceiling will descend upon Banjo and is very stressful. I wanted to see if those spikes really are just there throughout your whole time in the labyrinth, and they are. You walk in and you can actually, it's a bit of a shame that the camera's so low you can't even see them basically. But if you walk in, look up, spiky. Wow. Okay, oh my gosh, this is another one I was so excited for. So, the puzzle for Gobi's Valley is right next to the door to Mad Monster Mansion. And it's that ugly lava area. I hate lava. But I was excited because I was like, oh, I bet the ceiling's gonna be like this cool lava cave texture. Kind of like how we have on the walls. And it's just a black void. I was so disappointed. It's fine, but I wanted like a spooky red cave wall. Whatever. Fortunately for us though, you walk over towards Mad Monster Mansion and things get much better. Both the area of Mad Monster Mansion's door and actually Mad Monster Mansion, they have the same skybox. With this spooky moon, and it's like foggy and dark and nighttime, but not in like a pretty way. And I like it a lot. I especially like it in Mad Monster Mansion. It fits the vibe perfectly. You can almost see a werewolf, like, howling in front of it, you know? Also, don't pay attention to how embarrassing it was. I fumbled so many times to get to the top of the goddamn crow's nest up there. I don't know what was wrong with me. But yeah, the skybox in the actual level is nice. I think it is atmospheric and certainly unique. None of the other levels really look like Mad Monster Mansion skybox in a world where we've got like, what, 3 now of just boring blue skies? So it's nice, but I do find it way more striking outside the level. In the graveyard, the moon is just gigantic. It's so big. And it leaves such a huge impression on you. It's not really part of the skybox, but it kind of is. You can sort of see this, like, the implication of, like, a forest outside of the mansion's grounds. And I always wanted to be able to explore that forest. You would probably get lost, it would be scary, but I want to anyway. So, if anyone's out there modding, like, Banjo, then you should make Banjo expanded, and let me go run around in that forest and get lost. Rusty Bucket Bay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is why I wanted to make this video. Okay. So, okay, just the Rusty Bucket Bay door, that like little shitty cave, it's just a cave. It's dark up there. Another black void. We know how caves work now. Okay. Okay, but Rusty Bucket Bay. So, I do recall, this is the one thing I remember about Any Austin's video, he did not like the Rusty Bucket Bay skybox. I don't remember why, I just remember he didn't like it, and I was like, nay sir, incorrect, this is an amazing skybox. Let me tell you why. Rusty Bucket Bay is the poison level. The water is poisonous, it is toxic, it is pollution, it is one of the hardest levels of the game, really fun if you ask me, and it's all centered around the titular tanker, the Rusty Bucket. And the skybox is this really striking sunset. And so not only is the sunset just a great contrast against the green shit of the level, but here's the real big, cool, interesting thing. Sunsets. You got red, you got orange, you got yellow, you get a little bit of purple in there. These are the colors of a wound. If you make a bruise, if you've ever been doing makeup and tried to make a bruise or illustrating a character and they've got boo-boos, these are the colors you use to imply an injury. And especially if we look at the rest of the level alongside the skybox. We got this swamp-ass green, this pussy green, and the red of the Rusty Bucket. It's a scar! It all creates the illusion that the Rusty Bucket and its toxic port is actively an injury upon nature, creating the same visual language, color theory-wise, as an injury. Like, it's just so good. I love it so much. Oh, it's my favorite skybox. I've talked about it every time I've played Banjo on stream. I love the skybox. It's so pretty. It's doing so much narrative for the level. 10. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay, Click Clock Wood has a lot going on. First of all, fun fact, I don't know how many of you know you can do this. When you enter the level, near like the ding pot, you enter this really tall grass. You can actually look through the grass, and the grass has its own little like walls and skybox. Really cute. I always loved doing this as a kid. But the actual level of Click Clock Wood, it's fascinating. First of all, you enter like this sort of pseudo-hub area where you choose the different seasons. And it's awfully scary. I didn't remember it being this spooky fog with like the knotted, gnarled tree branches. It gives, Click Clock Wood has quite the like cute vibe for being the final level. But this skybox, just looking up in this little room, it gives it a very nefarious feeling. And also what's cool is you can see that the trees, lining the area, they match their seasons. So, the spring, it's got green leaves. Fall, the leaves are gone. Winter, the leaves are dead. Summer, I've never paid enough attention to how pretty the trees are in summer. What's with these cute pink flowers? It's awesome. It's adorable. It's so pretty. It's another very Thomas Kincaid feeling thing. I love it. It's also giving Monet. I like art. I like artists. And this makes me think about art and artists. But actually moving into each season, it's fascinating how crummy these skyboxes are. Spring's skybox is just sky, just blue sky, but then there's like this weird shitty fog. I don't know what's up with that. I thought, I walk in, I look up, and I see this crummy like fog cloud, and I think, oh, maybe that's gonna be in all of the levels to imply like the height of the tree. No, it's only in spring. What's with this shitty fog cloud? Is it to imply rain? Maybe. I don't know. It just kind of looks bad. Because you can like really clearly see the edge of it. If you get up high, you get more of a gander at the tree texture that is used to imply more of the forest. But yeah, it's just like another blue skybox for spring. Enter summer. What's the most exciting thing about summer? The sun's back! Genuinely, if you had asked me before I did any of this research, I would have told you the sun is only in Treasure Trove Cove. Yeah, the sun is back, but that's, again, the only interesting thing here. More of that pretty tree texture, but that's all we got. Fall is fascinating. Before we enter fall, what do you think fall's skybox looks like? Is it going to be green? Is it going to be another shade of blue? Is it going to be cloudy? If you answered yes to any of that, you're wrong. It's this heinous red color. It looks like we've entered hell. Fall has always been one of my favorite seasons in Click Clock Wood. And it's this horrible hell sky, and I don't get it. I mean, I guess it fits the color theme of fall, but also, it looks like we've entered hell. I just don't understand. It looks so aggressive. This is crazy. It's bananas. Winter is disappointing because they didn't just copy the skybox from Freezeezy Peak, which I respect them for, having the gumption to be like, let's do something new and different, and yeah, but just kind of like a shitty fog. It's just like, I mean, it is cold, it's cold looking, I guess, but it's certainly not nearly as striking as Freezeezy Peaks was. Pretty disappointing way to round out the skyboxes, so we're not done yet. Initially, I just went back home to Banjo's house, and then a couple days passed, and I had the thought of, wait, can I get back to the arena where you fight Grunty and look at that skybox? And the answer is no. If you enter Dingpot again, he just sends you back to like the cutscene where Mumbo shows you photos for like 10 minutes. But I saw a lot of interesting things as I journeyed up Grunty's mansion, so let's take a gander at that. First interesting thing is this platform that transports you to her board game. I don't know if I've ever looked at this either. You look up, look at this Technicolor light show, and I think the skybox is just flashing colors to imply that the light is flashing colors. Because, we got the lights around the perimeter, and it's very successful, and again, just very out of the way. I feel like I never get the chance to see these ceilings. They're so interesting. And then you get to the board game. This has got to be the single most interesting room in Grunty's mansion. First of all, look They gave me the lava skybox, the lava cave wall I wanted. Exactly what I wanted in that ugly room next to Gobi's puzzle. They gave it to me here, and I'm so happy. But way more interesting than that. Not only did I get my wish, but look at this sick nasty art lining the perimeter. It implies that a bunch of baddies that you've fought and handled throughout your adventure are observing, are watching, that this is, you know, when you play the board game, you hear cheers and boos as you progress forward. Is this the implication that it's all these baddies up here? That this isn't just a painting, but it's implied to be an audience? So cool. Such cool art. I feel like I've never seen this before in my life. I feel like if I was a kid and I saw this, I'd be scared. And then Grunty's like lab area, you know, the final area, near Dingpot and everything. Honestly, nothing too special. There's like a specific, like a unique coloration of the swamp texture, which is fascinating. But for the most part, the Big Bang really was board game room. So really fun stuff. But yeah, to finish us off, I went back home to Banjo's house. Don't pay attention to how I am dying in this footage. I fell a lot in Clockwood. Yeah, to see what Banjo's house looks like. And not only is the wallpaper interesting, unique, I'll give it that, but what's really weird is that the ceiling is dark. like it's just a dim ceiling. I guess there's only seems to be natural lighting. So I guess that's the problem. That's why he's got such a dark ceiling. I don't know, it makes the house feel quite small. You know, it really shortens the whole vibe. But yeah, I had a really great time looking at skyboxes and ceilings, and I hope you did too. Let me know if you did, because I want to know. And there's a part of me that thinks it'd be really fun to do Banjo Tooie. I've definitely thought less about Banjo Tooie's skyboxes, so it'd be even more fun, cool things to observe and to learn. So let me know if that's something that sounds interesting to you. I hope you enjoyed the video, because that's the whole dang video. Hope you liked it. I'm Twiins Inc. Thanks for watching. Special shout out to my $10 patrons: Andrew, Genital War Thunder, Hot Mud Butt, James Piper, Messiah Complex, and Ranger Sode. Thanks a million. You're all the best.
I'm stuck in the machine. No god or man can save me. I have us but cannot see. What is it to be free?